And this is something that all of us are going to be affected by. But in order for you to know a little bit about us, I want you to know that at the University of Miami, there are a few things that you should know about. At the University of Miami, we transform lives through education, research, innovation, and service. And so this is really our foundation of what we do here at the University of Miami. All of you are coming here to transform your lives. You're coming here for your education as undergraduate students so that you're going to have a bright future as an engineer. We're going to be providing you that education inside and outside the classroom. You'll have an opportunity to be engaged in research. We're a hub for innovation for the Americas, and you're going to learn about how our faculty are helping to transform the lives of our communities and how you as students can get involved in that as well. And of course, all of us that work here at the College of Engineering are here in service to all of you to make sure that you have a bright and successful future. We have a number of distinguished speakers that will be joining us this morning for orientation. And so in that case, what I'd like to do at this point is to officially welcome you at the University of Miami. We have a tradition of getting you all ready so that you know a little bit more about the U. You'll see this throughout other orientations at the University of Miami, but this is our official way to make you part of the College of Engineering, what I like to call U Engineers. And so I'm going to ask you all to do a little sort of stretching with me. So I'm going to ask you to put your hands up over your head and stretch a little bit like this, everybody. You're going to make an L with your two hands. You're going to bring it into the middle like this. Let's everybody do that, okay? And then you're going to put it up over your head. And that's what we call throwing up the U. Congratulations, everybody. You're now officially a U engineer at the University of Miami, beginning your undergraduate education. We're so glad that you're here. Our first speaker is actually a transfer student, but also a first-year student as well. And so it is my great distinct pleasure to introduce our first speaker. Our first speaker is our new dean, Dean Pratim Biswas. He joined us this semester at the University of Miami. And so he has a distinguished career that I'd like to highlight a little bit about it for you. First of all, he previously was the chair of the Department of Energy and Environmental and Chemical Engineering at Washington University in St. Louis, Missouri. He also served as the Assistant Chancellor for International Programs and the Director of the McConnell Academy for Global Energy and Environmental Partnerships. He was the 2018 Fuchs Award winner, which is the premier, the #1 award for people on an international level for aerosol research and contributions for aerosol research in science and technology. His education is quite distinguished, as you can see. He received his Bachelor of Technology from the Indian Institute of Technology in Bombay, a master's degree from the University of California in Los Angeles, as well as a PhD from the California Institute of Technology. But he's also, last but not least, a member of the National Academy of Engineering, which he was nominated by his peers. It's the highest honor that an engineer gets in their lifetime as an engineer. It's my pleasure to introduce you for the first time as our dean, Dean Pratim Biswas. Dean Biswas.
Okay, thank you, David, for the kind words and nice introduction. And welcome, undergraduate students. I presume there might be some parents, friends, and family members. So welcome. Today, indeed, is a special day. You'll find out in your education. We engineers love numbers. So today, I'll just tell you, is the 21st day of the 21st year of the 21st century. So you can see the sequence of numbers, right? So welcome again. And like David Poole mentioned, I am also a freshman like you folks are, and I've just been here a few weeks. So welcome to the College of Engineering at the University of Miami. Many, if not most of you, will be moving out of the comfort of your homes with your families, as most undergraduates do. But do note that you're now becoming a part of our family at the University of Miami. Like your own family, you can rest assured that the large University of Miami family is now here to help you, guide you, and work with you to ensure that you are successful. I'll tell you a little about engineering. It's a fascinating field, and you'll be trained to develop skills that will assist you all your life, while you will delve into science, math, humanities, social sciences, fundamental engineering classes, elective engineering classes. You, as an engineer, will develop special skills of learning how to solve problems. These problem solving skills will assist you through your entire career, no matter which field you get into after you graduate. We are all aware, for example, of the many global challenges we face. Rest assured that during your education here, you will learn about them, not only learn how to tackle them, but also solve them. And that's exactly what engineers do. We are problem solvers. This could not, this could include like addressing climate change challenges or learning how to make systems more sustainable and resilient, or understanding what has caused this pandemic that we are in. And as a result, we are doing this meeting virtually, and how we can not only prevent it, but also solve it. There are other exciting problems that engineers work on, whether it is big problems of travel, for example, to outer space, developing habitation on the moon, as we hope to send humans all the way to Mars, or minuscule problems dealing with nanotechnology to make the next set of miniaturized sensing devices, or maybe develop renewable energy solutions, uh, novel materials for building future infrastructure, analyzing large data sets that will help understand and tackle complex diseases such as cancer, or build a biomedical device that will help someone overcome a major ailment or a shortcoming. And there are many, many more that you will experience and learn about during your education with us here. The world needs well-trained engineers. So I encourage you to delve in, dive in, and partake of this great education that University of Miami will offer you. I also advise you to have fun as you navigate through our rigorous academic curriculum. Do make the most of your university experience, participate in clubs and organizations, join a professional society, student chapter, develop leadership skills, learn to interact and work in teams. Right? At the University of Miami, and specifically in engineering, we'll provide you opportunities to work in teams, and complex problems like the ones we need to solve today do need these teamwork skills in effectively tackling them. Explore opportunities to do an internship or meet a faculty member and learn about their research and work with them on an exciting project. I'll end with a few words of advice, right? So first, do develop an ability for lifelong learning. Pay attention to what you're being taught and learn the fundamentals well. Second, make lifelong friends. Like you, they will become successful professionals one day. And this is the best way of building a professional network. Third, go beyond, maybe well beyond doing the minimum, whether it be in a specific class or meeting the requirements. This is the time to experience and learn and work hard. Four, while you are in your new and happy University of Miami family, stay in touch with your parents and family. Beyond paying your bills, they will be your supporters, encouragers, and provide you unconditional love. And finally, fifth, do attend classes, meet and interact with the faculty, study hard, sleep and rest well, and have fun. Yes, you can do all of the above. Welcome again to the College of Engineering and the University of Miami. I look forward to meeting all of you in person as you go through our programs here. Thank you. David, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dean Biswas. So now you've heard a lot about all the exciting things that you can expect as a University of Miami student, but also in terms of the challenges that you're going to face going out into the world. You should know that the dean, as well as everybody who is working here in the College of Engineering, whether in the dean's office or in your particular departments, are going to be here to serve you. And one of the biggest ways that we serve you is to provide you for giving you services. So let me introduce to you our next speaker. Our next speaker is our Associate Dean for Student Affairs. She is a member of the Department of Civil, Architectural, and Environmental Engineering. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Darren Ural. Dr. Ural?
Thank you, David. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the College of Engineering at the University of Miami. We're thrilled that you've decided to become a Kane, and you did so in a very fantastic way because we are a special and unique college. We are smaller than the usual engineering schools, so we will get to know each and every one of you, and you will each have a unique experience with us. I'm pleased to be serving as your Associate Dean. I will be your go-to person regarding any issues you may have or any requests you may have. My office is in the Dean's Suite. Currently, I'm also accessible through email or through Zoom. So please take note of my email address as well as my phone number because I will be your main cheerleader and supporter through your education in our college. I also have a fantastic team. On the next slide, David has our team's photograph. Here you'll see from right to left, Cassandra Sierra is our professional advisor, our academic advisor. Next to Cassandra in the photo is Tish Broadhurst. Dr. Ram is next to me in the photo, and he is our assistant dean for advising. So he will be in charge of your advising and your course scheduling. And Eileen Pereira Ruggiero is our dean's office manager. So we are the team that you will see in the dean's office whenever you need assistance with advising and registration, course scheduling. So please take note of our phone number, 284-3100. You can reach us on email and Zoom as well. The next slide, our college has a fantastic array of engineering programs. If you are currently undecided, you can look into the various programs that are all ABET accredited. When you take your intro to engineering course, you'll get familiarized with the opportunities and options that are available to you. So we do have a multitude of programs that are all accredited. Next slide, David. As Dean Biswas gave you the guiding principles this morning, I also want to reemphasize life as an engineering student at the University of Miami. So I mentioned that we're a small college and we'll support you. We want you to take advantage of all of the fantastic opportunities that our university has for you. So of course, at the top of my list is academics. We want you to be a successful engineer, and that goes through succeeding your courses and your coursework. And I'll get to some support mechanisms that we have a little later. But please do keep that at the top of your list. We want you to make sure that you're going to class and that you're successful in your coursework. We also want you to be involved in your community. And that could be through engineering organizations. It could be through university organizations. Look out for different opportunities and projects and get involved. And we always like to say that we would like to see you involved in at least 3 different organizations or community involvement projects and see what works best for you. What are you passionate passionate about, and try to find that at the university. We also have research opportunities. If you are a person who is very interested in doing academic research, we have research projects that will allow undergraduate students to take part in. So I will give you some information about that. So please look into research if that's something that you are passionate about. Entrepreneurship is another important aspect of being a good engineer, and there are programs in place, and we're talking with the business school about that. So look out for announcements on entrepreneurship opportunities. The university has a very well-established study abroad program, and within that we have a specific engineering study abroad program. Currently with the coronavirus, of course, we're waiting it out, but we hope that next year that we will be able to resume our global engineering education study abroad programs. The university has a career center, the Topple Career Center. We have a champion there, Devin Rogan, who looks into the engineering programs and internships. So be on the lookout for announcements from Devin for internships, and he will certainly ask you to create a handshake account before you meet with him. The university has intramural sports, fantastic athletic programs. Go out to the games, cheer on your fellow U students. It's an essential part of your experience as being a Cane. Further down the road, when you're a senior, we would encourage you to take the Fundamentals of Engineering exam, which is the first step to becoming a professional engineer. It is not a mandatory, but it is encouraged for students to take that. And we have in engineering over 30 student organizations, and today you will be hearing from our Engineering Student Council president, who will tell you more about them. The next slide, David. I'd like to remind all of our students, some of you will be remote, so you will rely on Blackboard for your courses. And how will you access your courses on Monday? You will access them through courses.miami.edu. So I encourage you this weekend, professors will start releasing the courses. They've been working hard on them. They will have them ready for you. So please go in and check that all of your courses are there and that you know how to access them if you are a remote student. If you're an in-person student, we look forward to seeing you in the classrooms on Monday. If you're a remote student, we look forward to seeing you on Zoom or Microsoft Teams on Monday. So please do visit your Blackboard site. And if you have any difficulty or if you're not seeing your course, please write to your professor, send an email, okay? And if you are not getting a response, feel free to write to me as well. I'm happy to help you. So this is something important that we want you to do before Monday. The next slide will outline different ways that you can get support for your classes. At the University of Miami, we have a large number of ways that we can provide you with support if you feel that you need it. There's no extra cost for any of these services. However, we do encourage you to seek help if you feel like you're not doing well, even from the first assignment or first exam. So the Camner Center at the university has tutoring available. We ask students to set up appointments with a few different tutors, see which tutor you work best with. Go ahead and schedule appointments for the remainder of the semester with that tutor. And let's make sure that you do well and get the good grades that you are able to get. Every class will have a teaching assistant. If you wish to speak to a TA instead of a professor, there will be office hours available. So do seek out your teaching assistant if you do have questions about assignments or course material. Every professor has an office hour that will be on the course syllabus. Every course will have a syllabus distributed to you the first day of class. It's very important that you review that document. That syllabus will have everything you need regarding dates of exams, any assignment that you're going to have, any project that you're going to have, that will be in the syllabus. In the syllabus, you will also find information about your teaching assistant, your professor's office hours, and so forth. So please make sure that you review and you keep that syllabus handy throughout the semester. The physics department has tutoring available through the Physics Academy. The math department has a math lab. Our own College of Engineering student organizations do have tutoring available, which will be advertised through their website. So please do seek out upper year engineering students. They are happy to help you. You can always reach out to your advisor if none of the other options here work for you, and your advisor will be happy to set up an appointment for you. And you also have peer mentors. So we have a lot of support mechanisms for you to succeed in your courses. All you have to do is ask, okay? So make sure that if you feel you need a little help, that you ask for it. The next slide. You'll see that our classes in the engineering building are all active classrooms, and you will find that the upper year courses are taught in an active way. What does that mean? That means that professors will require that you review the material on your Blackboard site before coming to class. And then when you go to class, you'll be doing discussions, problem solving based on the theory that was presented to you previously on Blackboard through a video. So that's forthcoming for you in your third and fourth years. We want you to go to class prepared. And this is a really fantastic way of learning, and our students have really enjoyed this, and especially in your senior design, that is very beneficial to be working in teams. So this is a trademark of our college, and we're very proud of the work that our faculty are doing. As I mentioned before, you will have the opportunity to do research. And my colleague, Dr. Helena Solo Gabriel, who's also a professor in the Civil Architectural Environmental Engineering Department, is the Associate Dean for Research. And you have her email address here, as well as the website. And she is in charge of all of the research programming in our college. If you wish to seek a position in one of the research projects ongoing, feel free to reach out to Dr. Solo Gabriel. This is an important point, and do look at the website for further information. The next slide is information regarding the virtual academic computing platform that our college has. We ask that you take note of Dr. Zach's information here, his phone number and his email. You will be required to use certain computer programs for your courses, and you will need to access those programs through Viacomp. He will help you set up Viacomp on your personal computing devices, so please do reach out to him the first week of class, because you will find that you're going to start getting assignments and you will need to access Viacomp. So please do reach out to Dr. Zach the first week of class, if not the second week of class, so that you are all set up to be able to use the computer programs required. We also have a computer lab in the college that does have Viacomp set up. So if you're on campus, and if you have time between your courses, you can go to the computer lab and use that to do your assignments. So now it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you our Engineering Student Council President, Maisie Lamb. I work with her regularly. We have standing meetings. She is the voice of the College of Engineering students. And I'm very pleased that she's with us today, and she will be presenting all the fantastic work that our students have been doing in the college. So Maisie, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ural. Welcome, everyone. My name is Maisie Lamb, and as Dr. Ural said, I am proud to be the Engineering Student Council President here at the College of Engineering. And basically, I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit today about everything that happens outside of the classroom. So far, we've been hearing a lot about academics, about research, about all the important things in college, but equally important is the experience that you have outside. And a big factor in that is the organizations that you get involved in. So can we go to the next slide, David? The next slide right after that. Thank you. Awesome. So our first thing is that we do have an Instagram, and I encourage all of you guys to follow us, because this is basically where we're able to post and get a lot of information out to you. We do send out information traditionally via email, as well as through professors, but we know everyone is pretty active on social media. So for example, right now we have a medal design competition at the College of Engineering, and our first post right there is about that. So we're able to keep you guys updated in a more active and casual way. So I definitely encourage you guys to go ahead and follow us, as well as you can DM us with any questions you may have. We're really great about getting back to you. So it's a really nice way to just stay in touch beyond an email list. So yeah, our next slide, thank you. Okay, the formatting got a little bit messed up here, but it's okay. So basically, you know, what is Engineering Student Council? We kind of are the organization that is here to bring together all the different aspects of the engineering. So we have the students, the faculty, the administration, and we work in tandem with all the groups in order to bring you guys the resources to succeed. These resources could include events that we host in the spring and the fall. They could include different resources that we send out to you, different competitions that we might have. So specifically for spring, what you guys are going to be interested in is our first upcoming event called the Spring Involvement Fair. And we'll have a slide on that on the next slide, a slide on that in the future to talk about it. But basically what that is what you could consider a org expo. We have all the student organizations here to talk to you guys. Obviously this year it will be hosted on Zoom, but basically the second week of this semester, all the student organization presidents will be registering for time slots, and you can go ahead and join the call that you're interested in, and they will be able to answer any questions about how to get involved, as well as things that they do throughout the semester. So it's going to be a really great opportunity for you guys to go ahead and just jump right into the deep end, sign up for all the orgs that you might be interested in, and really just get your feet wet. Even though it is the spring, a lot of student organizations are still active and are still recruiting in the spring. The second thing that we're really excited about this year is Engineering Week, which is February 21st to the 27th. That is a national celebration of engineering where we're going to be hosting events throughout the entire week, and we'll be coming out with the schedule shortly. But we are basically just going to have a fun week. It's almost like engineering homecoming, so it's something really fun to look forward to. This year, a lot of our events will be held online, as well as we will be including some in-person events. We'll also be having our graduate student panel. So if some of you are interested in graduate school and want some more information as to how to get involved, we'll provide you with the resources. We'll have some alumni come back and speak to you about applications. And again, just giving you guys those resources and tools. We also host feedback roundtables. So if you're having issues and might not feel comfortable directly emailing a professor, we try and hold 1 to 2 per semester and be able to give you guys a platform for you to speak directly to administration, myself, and other people in the College of Engineering to have your voices heard, which is so essential. You aren't just students here. You aren't just people who come to class. We value your opinions and we want to hear everything you have to say. And the last thing that we've been working on with someone that Dr. Al mentioned, Devin Rogan, in the career development area. So we are basically working on getting you guys, again, those tools and resources to help you excel when you leave the college. So we've been trying to get different speakers and different people from industry to connect with you. So these are all different things that we do, and we are here again to support you, to facilitate your success and growth outside of the classroom. Can we have the next slide? Thank you. So you might be wondering, great, sounds great. How do I get involved? How do I get in these organizations? So again, that Spring Involvement Fair, the first week of February is going to be really key for you to be able to just join those group chats, join the mailing list, meet the presidents directly. But this is basically a small flyer that we have that is on our website, and it has all the engineering student orgs listed. And we are so blessed in the College of Engineering to have all these amazing organizations for pretty much anything that you want to get involved in. If you're interested in 3D printing and robotics, we have an organization called UMaker for you to go ahead and build basically competitions with different toys, robotic cars that they've had, races, an amazing org. Or maybe you're more interested in, let's say, getting involved with a group specifically for the women engineers, and we have a Society of Women Engineers. Or perhaps you're a biomedical engineer, we have a biomedical engineering honor society. So there's definitely a lot of opportunity for you to go ahead and jump right in. And I could not encourage you more to do this. As Dr. Ural said, 3 clubs would be a great amount. And it may seem like a lot, but at the end of the day, this is what really will make your college experience outside of the classroom and how you're really going to have an amazing time and meet some amazing people. Can we have the next slide? Great. Okay, so as I was saying, the Spring Involvement Fair. So this is the first thing that I would encourage all of you guys to do. Consider it a personal invitation from me. This is the flyer. If you want to take a photo of it, we will be sending out, again, an email via the student list service to all of the students in the college. We'll also be posting it on our Instagram, but you heard it here first. It's going to be Monday, February 1st at 7 p.m. over Zoom, and we'll come out probably in the next week with the exact schedule of what presidents will be speaking when, so you can go ahead and tune in directly to the organization you're interested in. And yeah, I mean, I definitely would encourage this. This is where I've had some of my best experiences in organizations that I'm involved with. So please get involved. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to try something new and then quit later if you don't like it, but definitely just go for it. And then can we have the last slide? So this is a transfer student group chat that we have. We actually started this last fall, so there already are people in there, but again, I'd encourage you guys to join this because now you will be able to have a group chat with everyone that's here right now and be able to talk about any questions that you might have. And again, just find more ways to be connected, especially in this environment that we are in right now where we're virtual and not in person and can't just talk, you know, face to face, being in group chats and being active and really going for all of these different opportunities to get involved is really going to make your experience great. So consider, if you have WhatsApp, download it, join that link, scan that QR code, and I really look forward to hopefully seeing you guys at all our events this semester, online and in person. And if you have any questions with regards to organizations or any experience outside the classroom, don't be hesitant to email me, email Engineering Student Council, reach out to us over Instagram. We are here for you guys. And I hope you have an amazing semester. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maisie, for your presentation and sharing with our students all the different resources that are going to be available to them. I can say from my experiences working with Maisie the last couple of years, I remember when she first came in as a first-year student, and to see her blossom and bloom into the professional future engineer that's getting ready to graduate. It's great to see that, and that's in no small part to getting involved, not only, as Maisie said, in the classroom, but certainly with the student organizations that she outlined. Just as a reminder, this presentation is being recorded. This will go up on our website later on this week. And as Maisie said, all the information about activities do go on our college calendar. If you haven't checked out our website at the University of Miami College of Engineering, please go to coe@miami.edu. So there are a couple of things that I wanted to go over with you. Although I am Director of Admission, I wear many different hats in the College of Engineering. As you've heard from all of us, we're here to work for you. And so one of the things that I work together with Dr. Ural and with our faculty within each of the departments is the study abroad opportunities. And so although at this time, because of COVID-19, unfortunately, we are not sending students around the world, but obviously as the vaccination rolls out, we hope that we're going to have study abroad opportunities beginning with next fall. So even though this is your first day as a College of Engineering student, it's not too early to start thinking about study abroad. And we really want you to start thinking about a global engineering perspective. Yes, at the University of Miami, your classmates literally do come from all over the world, everywhere, every continent except for one. We still haven't gotten anybody from Antarctica. But in the meantime, you get an opportunity to work with students in the classroom, to become friends with them. But the study abroad is an intensive program. It really gives you the opportunity to leave us in Coral Gables, to go study engineering at another university somewhere else in the world. Typically in engineering, the way that it works out, it's best to try to do that and working with your academic advising team to do it during either your sophomore or your junior year. And that could be either during the academic year or during the summer semesters. And they will talk to you about opportunities. And we do have two different ways to do study abroad, and I'll touch upon that in just a minute. But I do want to bring your attention to in terms of deadlines. So since we believe that study abroad will be available for the fall semester, just note that in early February is the deadline to start having your applications completed for study abroad. So any of you that are attending this orientation session today that happen to be a transfer student or a first-year student that has advanced standing, that may be an option with you. So as you go through your early conversations with your academic advisors in the next couple of days and weeks, to start talking about that. The last time that we had people going to study abroad, you can see that we had the ability to do that in the chat box. We're putting up some links that we're going to be sharing with you as well. But you can see students have gone to everywhere from the Galapagos Islands as well as to England. Now, we work in collaboration with the Study Abroad office. And Study Abroad gives you the opportunity to do study abroad in two different fashions. You could take all of your liberal arts courses and take courses at universities around the world that we're partners with in a global sense at the University of Miami. But we're proud to say that we're one of just a handful of universities in the United States that are part of the Global Engineering Education Exchange, which is called GE Cubed. And this is a program specifically for you as an engineer to be able to take courses as a study abroad experience in leading universities all over the world. And so that you know, anytime that you do study abroad, that you're going to be able to, first of all, you're going to go to a school where your credits are going to transfer because they're going to be pre-approved. You also know that you're paying University of Miami tuition and fees, and any sort of merit scholarship or any need-based financial aid would apply towards that study abroad experience. So for many students, really the only additional cost that they're going to find is going to be in terms of personal expenses. The Study Abroad office and I will hold a virtual sort of information session later this semester, and we'll be sending out an email to you. Again, just as a reminder, now that you're a University of Miami student, all of our communication with you will be officially through your University of Miami email. So if you are using Gmail or any other email as your primary, just to make sure that you're making sure that your email from miami.edu is transferred over to that. Let's look a little bit in terms of the options that are currently part of GE3. So you can see everywhere from Latin America, Europe, as well as Asia and Australia. So literally, it really is all over the world. Again, these are some of the leading universities of engineering all over the world that partner with us. We work with IIE, which is an international collaboration, which brings higher education institutions together. So there's an application that you would do with both the University of Miami and with the Global Engineering Consortium. Just know that you are not going to be alone in this process, as I mentioned. I'm going to be here, Dr. Ural, in terms of sort of at the higher level, but we do have people within every department to help you with that area in terms of doing study abroad. The second thing I would like to talk to you about is you certainly got a lot of information as coming in as new students when you were making the choice to be on Miami Hurricane as a U engineer. And one of those options is our 5-year joint BS-MS program. So whether or not you're coming in as a first-year student or whether or not you're coming in as a transfer student, this is open to all of our students. And this allows you, depending upon how many credits you come in, to complete both your bachelor's and master's degree within a 5-year period. And that includes if you're coming in as a transfer student or if you're coming in as a first-year student with credits that are coming in from advanced placement or international baccalaureate programs. You receive both degrees in the same department simultaneously. You will go through an official application process during your junior year so that you know and your academic advisor knows that you're ready to do this. We want to make sure that you're in step. Again, as Dr. Ural pointed out in her presentation, our responsibility to you is to make sure that you get the education and that you leave with your degree so that you're prepared to go out into the world to be an amazing engineer. But just like any professional area, the bachelor's degree is the key to opening up those doors, but it is the master's degree that is really going to open up the world to you. And as an engineer, there's an additional layer as well, because many of you are going to go and you are going to need professional engineering licensure, which means having a bachelor's degree and 30 post-baccalaureate degree credits, which is an MS degree. Our MS programs in the College of Engineering are geared towards non-thesis. So those of you that are thinking of going into a PhD, this would not be the pathway. I'd be happy to talk to you separately about the pathway for those of you that are thinking of going on to get a PhD in engineering. But just know that we're going to be here to work with you. You'll be hearing a lot more information, and all this information is on the student tab of our website at coe.miami.edu. You've heard from both Dr. Ural and from Maisie about our amazing partners at the Topple Career Center, and about Devin Rogan, who is our primary partner who helps all of our students. We'll have information sessions throughout the academic year. Topple does interface with us with doing evening events. Obviously this year we'll be doing them all virtually, but we're also excited to be able to tell them that you are able to see that it's not just about administrators talking about this. We know that the best way to understand about what's going on and how the process works and how it's going to enhance your education is by hearing from other students. And so we have student ambassadors in the College of Engineering that work in conjunction with us and the Topple Career Center to do that. We're going to be encouraging you to do your resume in your first semester. And the great thing about the Topple Center is they'll help you build that resume right now. Many of you already had resumes that you submitted as part of your application process, but certainly they need to be geared towards specifically to your professional field. Also in terms of how to utilize, for instance, LinkedIn, which is the #1 global way to be able to do that. So that's the big thing. Handshake, which is mentioned on here, that's where the portal that you will sign in and create an account at the University of Miami. That's where you're going to find about events. You're going to find about internship opportunities as well as full-time jobs. There will also be a virtual career fair. And even though you're saying to yourself, well, Mr. Poole, I just arrived. I'm a first-year student. Really, should I be doing that now? The answer is yes. We want you to get engaged as soon as you can. You'll be amazed, and you'll hear from our students as you get to know them, that career people from companies remember you. You get one chance to make a great first impression. So we know that our students at the University of Miami, companies give us this feedback all the time. You really do get prepared for your career success at Miami between what we do in the College of Engineering and with our partners at Topple. Again, we'll be sharing this presentation and we will be holding sessions later this semester. Check your email about doing that as well. Now, before we get to Dr. Ram and Dr. Ural in terms of next steps, I would be remiss to tell you that there is also probably the #1 thing that you need to do before anything else. Our #1 priority, although we want to educate you, we want to give you an opportunity to do research, we want to give you an opportunity to get engaged in student organizations, is your personal safety. Your parents have entrusted us with your presence, whether or not you're on campus or remotely. And so we want you to continue to remain safe. From a standpoint, as you know, within the COVID environment, you'll hear from President Frank, if you haven't already, about all the amazing things that the University of Miami has done. We really have been a leader, and that was proven in our first semester during the COVID pandemic. You will have to each day send out the attestation to basically say that you're safe to come to campus, that you haven't had any side effects from COVID. And if you do, or if you are passing on anybody, that is the way that we do tracking and tracing, which is the pillars to make sure that all of you stay safe. There's also other things about safety, so that if you're on campus, we want to make sure that you remember that sometimes you will hear a fire alarm go off. So if you do hear that, pick up your belongings, leave the building until we give you the all clear. Again, your safety is important. We also want you to be safe in your community. You'll hear about that in other sessions during the traditional part of the University of Miami orientation sessions, but your students are some of your best resources in terms of getting around. So just know, as we've said throughout all this, there's a lot of information in this. Again, we're going to be putting this up, and we will be reaching out to you about each one of these and sort of break it up into sort of little mini sessions so that you can make sure that you can get this information. As Dr. Urel said, please feel free to reach out to us. But at this point, I have my pleasure to introduce to you our Assistant Dean, Dr. Ram. And Dr. Ram is going to talk to you about the next steps as a student. Dr. Ram, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello all, welcome. Welcome to the University of Miami. I hope that you'll have a wonderful time at the university, and then you'll graduate with your engineering degree in depending upon whether you're a transfer student or a new student in 2.5 to 4 years, depending upon where you come in. The first thing about advising is the first 2 years of advising. When you're a sophomore and a freshman, you are advised in the advising office. Okay, the advising office is located in the Dean's Suite in the central section of the College of Engineering. And that's where we are located, not during COVID. During COVID, we are all on Zoom. Okay, so hopefully once we are done with COVID, that's where we will be located. So if you have any questions, doesn't matter which one it is, or you don't know where your tutoring is, or do you don't know where your classroom is, please do come ask us. We'll be happy to show you where to go, where the locations are. As you will realize that because of social distancing requirements, the classrooms are all over the campus. I'm not sure that I know where some of my rooms are located where I'm going to teach in, so that might be true for you too. So please do take a look at where it is, where it might be in terms of, there is a campus map which shows you where things might be. So you might have to go to the campus and look around in order to exactly figure out where the classrooms are. So please watch out for it in terms of where the classrooms are going to be. If you go to, let me put the link. Excuse me for a second. Okay, so the link that I have put is where our our bulletin is. The bulletin is really is what you're bound by. So when you come in, and then when you go to look at the bulletin, go to the undergraduate section and go to the engineering section within that stuff, you will see within that pages, you will see a course description course that tells you all the courses you have expected to take depending upon what your major is. Okay, so there are, in the engineering, as Dr. Ural was saying, we have 5 different departments. There we have the biomedical, civil, architectural, electrical, computer, civil, architectural and environmental, electrical and computer, mechanical and aerospace, and industrial engineering. Okay, that the programs are located, if it is civil, architecture, or environmental, it's in the civil engineering, civil and architectural engineering department. If it is electrical and computer engineering, it's in the electrical and computer engineering department. Okay, that's how those things. So if you go under the appropriate department, you will see the requirements in terms of this stuff. So there is there are 2 pages of it. One of them shows you the study plan, and the study plan is typically how the classes are supposed to be taken, and the location of the classes are important. If a particular class comes before another class, it's because your faculty thought that is how it should be, in order for your betterment of you as you take the later classes which require this as a prerequisite. So engineering is usually very very specific about your prerequisites and core requisites, and you have to meet the prerequisite and core requisites before you can move on to another class for which these classes are prerequisites. So you have to be careful about that. Every student who graduates from the University of Miami, the university has specified, has to meet 3 cognates. Cognates are a set of courses that the university or the faculty in various departments have put together. The 3 cognates are STEM, which is science, engineering, mathematics, and technology. And then since all of you are engineering majors, your major, whatever it is, whether it is biomedical or civil or mechanical or computer or industrial, will be your STEM cognate. So all of you have to take 2 other cognates. One has to be in people and society. The other one has to be in humanities and arts in terms of the thing. We have a whole bunch of cognates that are there. So let me put you the link where you will find at the University of Miami where the cognates are. If you go to the cognates, you will find hundreds of cognates in people and society, and then humanities and arts. Which one you want to take basically depends upon what is your interest in the thing. Some departments have cognates that are specified. So for architect, the only one that I know is architectural engineering, which specifies a humanities and arts cognate. So you have to meet that requirement if you want to get the architectural engineering degree. If you are a pre-med student, typically, because you have to take MCAT when you're in your junior year, you have to make sure you have to take the pre-med cognate in the people and society. That has classes like Introduction to Psychology, Introduction to Sociology, which are all part of the MCAT test you have to take when you apply for admission to medical school. Other than those 2 cognates that are sort of you have to take, you are basically open to take and take whichever one you want. So you need to, I think most of you have met with your advisor. If you haven't, we will be there today for you to meet with us. So you have to make sure that you decide what are the cognate is not one course. Okay, a cognate has a minimum of 9 credits. There are some cognates that have 12 credits, but you really don't have much space in your curriculum for that. So you should pick a cognate that is 9 credits. And also when you pick a cognate, make sure that you pick a cognate that has a bunch of classes that are offered regularly. You will find that there are some cognates on the system where they say all the classes required for that cognate are offered by announcement. That means you have no idea when that is going to be offered and when you can take it in your classes. Also, there are some cognate, you will see that every class is 500 level. Okay, the way the numbering system is at the University of Miami is 100 level are typically freshmen, 200 level are sophomore, 300 level are junior, 400 and 500 are really seniors. Okay, the 500 class are usually coincide with the graduate class where both students are sitting in the class together. So if you see a cognate and all classes are 500 level classes, then I would not recommend that you take it, because that's not, you might have to take a bunch of prerequisites before you can take that class. So you have to be, you have to be careful. Again, when you go into the cognate location, it is set up into different options. Please do read the options correctly. Okay, it will tell you, you cannot take more than 1 class in the option, then you cannot take more than 1 class. If it tells you you have to take 2 classes from this option, then you have to take 2 classes. Sometimes they have a slightly confusing, at least 2 of the options have to be fulfilled, and then they give you 4 different options, and that's basically what that means. when you pick at least 2 of this, you cannot take all 3 classes from one option is what they are basically saying. Okay, so so please read it carefully. If you're not sure, please talk to me or any of the advisors, and we'll be happy to tell you what exactly it is there, and then what you need to do in terms of the thing. Like the dean mentioned, study hard. That doesn't mean that you cannot have fun, but so make sure that you get your A's and then have fun at the thing. Like your fellow student mentioned, there are many different things that are there. Get involved in organizations. Getting to know your students, your fellow students is important. Because they are an important aspect of your learning process, and they will help you to learn how these things are. And then they are your first line of help in terms of what is required. So when in engineering, we try to put you all in groups so that you should see many of your fellow engineering students in your classes. So make friends with them. It is, and like the dean mentioned, these are friends. They will be your lifelong friends in terms of this stuff. David, so we.
Great, thank you very much, Dr. Ram. So the rest part of our orientation session for you as new first-year student and transfer students is to really open up the conference that we're having right now in case there's any specific questions. We know that many of you will have questions. And again, remember that Dr. Ural, Dr. Ram, myself, Maisie, as well as other people in the College of Engineering are here to help you. But we'd like to take a few minutes and see if there are any questions on the floor. I would ask that if you do have a question, if you would open up your camera and your microphone, and then let us know who you are and what you're studying, and if you're coming in as a first-year student or as a transfer student. So if any of you do have any questions, feel free, and let's begin with the question and answer session.
Hello.
Well, hello, Rivka. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, you did. I'm so proud. Some people they get confused. You said it right the first time.
Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. What is your question?
Thank you. I don't have a question, but I was trying to join the WhatsApp group that from before, and I tried using the link, but it didn't work for me. So I was wondering if you can go back to the scanning so I can try that option.
Okay, what we'll do, Rivka, we're going to send out an email. I'll work with Maisie. We'll send an email out to all of our new students that'll have the link as well as the QR code so that you can get onto that WhatsApp group.
All right, thank you.
No problem. We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
Who else has a question for all of us? So, Maisie, I was just wondering if you wouldn't mind sharing for us just for a moment, since we have a couple of minutes and we don't have that many questions coming up yet. Do you remember what it was like on your first day and things that you wish that you had learned about maybe coming into this?
Yeah, definitely. And I'm trying to find the link. I'll send it in the chat right now after I guess I answer this question. But I don't remember my specific first day of college, but I do remember my first intro to engineering class taught by Dr. Ram. I had a hard time finding the class because it's like in the annex, so you had to, it wasn't in the main building. I mean, if you're online, then you won't have that issue. But I would say some advice that I would definitely recommend is just don't be afraid to try something new when you're here. Don't, like, if you're, you know, in your major, whatever it may be, even if you want to go ahead and explore other classes and other options or other organizations, or you've never tried coding but you want to get involved with that and maybe take a coding class, or if you've never tried robotics, but you want to maybe get involved with that U-Maker organization, I would say definitely go for it, because not only is the resources here unmatched, you're able to really try something new with support and without judgment here, but it also is just going to be a great experience for you, and you never know what you'll end up enjoying and what you're going to end up liking. So I would definitely say that, as well as just don't, again, I'm not pushing organizations for myself, but I would really recommend getting involved, just because even if you're not active in them, you don't have to be, going to every single meeting, but even if you're just in the group chat, and in the group chats, people send links, people send study guides, people send different information that could really just help you out. And you even can make some of your best friends. I've made some of my best friends in these organizations, and I know they'll be lifelong friends. So I think just getting more from the education than the homework and the library and the studying, which is all essential and important, and definitely do that, but make sure you supplement that and have just a holistic experience while you're here. And that's just going to come from the amount of effort you put in getting involved and in doing those things that you enjoy. The resources that are there, just don't be afraid to ask for help and to seek them out. That's what I would say.
Great, thank you, Maisie. I just also wanted to remind everybody, I remember when I was talking a little bit about safety. So it's an exciting time for the College of Engineering and STEM education in general at the University of Miami. The University of Miami is approaching its 100th anniversary, and the College of Engineering is also approaching its 75th anniversary as a college. So there's a lot of exciting things going on in terms of getting ready for these two big celebrations. As a matter of fact, if you haven't been on campus and walked around, if you are studying with us in person this semester, right in front of our building is a new building going up. It's called the Frost Institutes. And so I was happy to see when I came in this morning, it was all blocked off this morning to get up our main staircase. That's wide open today. So you can walk up to the building and get into the building. I might suggest also that you take time once you know your schedule, as Maisie mentioned, so that you get more familiar with the building. You certainly can pull up the map, but again, just maybe to check out where the classrooms are located before your class actually is, so that you're not holding your phone and trying to find your class as you go down the hallway. Obviously, for safety and security, you do need to carry your cane card with you at all time, because that will give you access into buildings that you have classes. So we want to make sure that you carry that with you as well. But last but not least, again, if you don't know where you're going, just stop somebody that you're going to see nearby and say, hey, I'm trying to find where the annex, or what we call the biomedical engineering addition, where is that? As Maisie alluded to, our college is actually 4 different parts. We have a 5-story building. On the ground floor is our lab, a 3D printing lab. It's where Johnson & Johnson, one of our major partners, has a collaborative lab. It's also, if you're doing anything with wood or metal, you're going to be working in that lab as well. The second floor really is an administrative floor, which is going through some construction. So many of us are actually working remotely because of COVID-19. But you will find some of the staff around, and we're always going to be available, which is why we gave you this contact information on this slide. If you want to set up an appointment with any of us, you can email us directly, or email us at coe@miami.edu, and we'll get you in touch with the right person. We want to, again, make sure that you know that we're going to be here to help you. So it's an exciting time in the college. We have just a few minutes left in this orientation session. So I was wondering, do we have any other students who might have a question at this time?
Yes, I might have one. Oh, sorry.
No, go first, because I asked already.
All right. Hi, I hope everyone's doing well. I think you're still muted.
You're right. My technology skills just left me for a moment there.
You're fine.
So if you could just let us know, Ramsey, where you're from, will you be joining us remotely or in person, and what is your intended major?
Yes, I'm actually from Broward, and I'm planning on taking in-person classes. I think 2 of them are in person. Um, and I'm an architectural engineering major. I just had a quick question regarding the 5-year joint BS/MS program you guys brought up. What would the requirements for that be?
Good question. So again, I will be sending out, there is information on the website. We'll do an information session. You could always email me, Ramsey, but for all of you should know, the students that typically will be considered for that program will have a cumulative grade point average of a 3.0 in their undergraduate studies. They'll be on track. We will have a formal review process of it. Our number one priority, again, is to make sure that you get your degree. And so you also need to let us know about what your plans are, maybe for study abroad, or if you're doing an internship, because all of those other things, or if you're involved in too many clubs and organizations, sometimes we'll tell you, look, you need to backtrack. The way the program works is that the master's degree program for almost all of our degree programs is 30 credits. You get to take, with proper planning, working with your academic advisor, 12 of your 30 credits as an undergraduate student in quote unquote your senior year. So you get to take 6 credits in each of the 2 semesters. You'll be charged undergraduate tuition and fees. And the good news is all of your undergraduate financial aid will apply towards those credit hours. So that's where part of the savings is also. It's not only saving you time, because typically it'd be 4 years and then 2 years of graduate study. So it's saving you time, but it also is going to save you money because you get to use your undergraduate financial aid to apply towards that. But again, continue. Today's day 1, so get out the gate and start off well. Set yourself up for success. We know you're going to be successful, Ramsey. We know everyone else here will be successful. And along the way, if you need help, as we've all said in all of our presentations, we're here to help you be successful as students here at the College of Engineering. So that's a great question, Ramsey, and I look forward to seeing hopefully you in person sometime soon.
I appreciate it. I hope so too. Thank you.
Great. Let's go back to Rivka. And I forgot to ask you, Rivka, where are you from? What do you plan on studying? And what's your next question?
I'm from Miami-Dade. I'm studying environmental engineering. I do plan coming in person. Just right now, like my family has COVID, so I'm staying home until everyone gets better. My only question is about like majors. Like right now, like I decided to study environmental engineering, but I would like to join in clubs. And if I'm interested in another like discipline of engineering, when is a good time like to switch over?
So I'm going to let either Dr. Ram or Dr. Al talk a little bit about potentially changing a major. And maybe Maisie, you want to talk about getting involved in student organizations so that you may be, a civil engineer, but you want to be involved with a student organization in biomedical. Can that happen? So let's go first to Dr. Ram and Dr. Rao to talk a little bit about the academic piece in terms of the process of how we're going to help you through this process of making sure that you get to the degree that you eventually want to have as your lifelong passionate career.
Students changing major is not uncommon. Okay, typically the freshman year is approximately, not completely, but approximately same for all students. Then after that, it becomes a little bit more complicated because many majors have a few classes that are important for classes you are going to take later in life. So it all depends on what you are doing and what the classes are. It is possible that when you switch majors, some of your classes do not count in the new major. So it all depends on which one. Do you know what you're thinking of?
As of now, like I want to do environmental engineering, but I know I'm also like interested in mechanical engineering and civil engineering, but I just chose environmental based on like my mentor's advice.
Yeah. I'm just looking at your classes. Most of it will count. Okay, there are a few which we have to see which way you decide to, which major you decide to do.
Right, thank you.
And Maisie, do you want to talk a little bit about getting involved in clubs and organizations? So you have to be a civil engineering student to be involved in a civil organization?
Yeah, not at all. I mean, for the honor societies, like if you're going to be accepted into an honor society, you do have to be in the major. But if you have, a club that's for biomedical engineers, you don't have to be a biomedical engineer to join. And I actually would really encourage you when we have that spring involvement fair, or if the club that you're interested in isn't at spring involvement fair, to email them directly and get in those group chats, because if you're in them, you're able to reach out to the upperclassmen who might be in the major you're interested in. You could talk to a few mechanical, talk to a few civil, and see what their take on it is, maybe ask them their experiences, just get some feedback, and then that will definitely probably help you make your decision as well, hearing what other people have to say. And yeah, I would say if you can make the decision from a student perspective, there's not a rush per se, like if you need a semester so to decide, but once you get into sophomore year, the classes do become a bit more aligned with the major, so you don't want to get put back. So if you can maybe take a class or try and get an opinion freshman year, I think that'd be your best option.
Maisie, could you also say something about balancing how many clubs and organizations I should get involved with?
Yeah, I mean, for the balancing, it's honestly just what you're interested in and what your schedule allows. If you know you're someone who needs a lot of time to sleep at night, and who needs time to study and has your priorities in different aspects, you don't have to get involved to an extent, but you could always just be in the group chat or be on the mailing list, and if something does come up that you are interested in, then you go to that. It's not a commitment that you're making to be president of any organization or something like that. But I would say don't be afraid to find that balance. Don't say, oh, I need to focus completely on engineering, on my schoolwork, I don't have time for anything else. I think if you find those things you're interested in and you start finding the clubs and the even sports teams and other things that you're interested in, you'll find the time and you'll find that work-life balance. It might be a little hard at first. Maybe your first semester might be a little difficult, but you'll definitely find it. Just finding those things you really care about, and you'll be able to do it.
Great. Thank you very much, Dr. Ram and Maisie. Do we have any other questions from our students? Well, I always love orientation. Oh, we did. There's Hannah. Welcome, Hannah.
Hi,
How are you doing today?
thank God. How are you?
Good. So Hannah, if you could tell us where you're from and what is your intended major and what your question is.
Yes, I'm from Miami-Dade. I'll be studying biomedical engineering, pre-med track. And I just have a question about being a spring student. I know you gave advice, get involved and study and things like that, but does anyone have any extra advice? Because spring is kind of different,
Wait, sorry, can you repeat? You mean advice, more specific advice? Is that what you're...
Yeah. Or is it the same as being a fall student, just happens to be in January instead of in August?
No, I think as far as the structure of the semester, it's very similar. I know in high school it's a little different. I'm not sure if you're coming in as a freshman or not, but in spring, it's pretty much the same thing. The courses are there. We kind of, the clubs restart, if that makes sense. We're doing just the same amount. You're not behind, because you guys aren't behind because you're coming into the spring at all. It's everyone, I feel in college, I find, is on their own path and doing their own thing. And honestly, if you're a sophomore, if you're a junior, sometimes you don't even notice what year people are, because everyone's just on their own path, and it's not really, you're not coming behind. But for more specific advice, I would just say read your emails, because those come from the college. And I know sometimes we kind of don't we ignore them, but I would just say sync your calendars, your Outlook and your Google Calendar, and check your email. That's more specific.
Thank you.
David, you're muted.
need to go back to school. So maybe I need to join all of you in first year classes, how to use technology. But Hannah, I would just say to you that, you know, we want this semester, even though you're coming into the spring semester, to be as vibrant and as exciting as the first year time as a U engineering student. And we're going to do everything that we can to do that. So that there is a lot of programming, just like there is in the fall. Yes, it's smaller, but we want you, that's one of the reasons why I think sometimes it's even more important for spring students to try to join student organizations to start making those connections with your classmates. And that's the best way to do it. In terms of obviously you're going to make friends if you're living on campus, if you're commuting to campus. There's a university-wide commuter student association. And as Maisie said, you know, the engineering student council is going to be doing a lot of programming to really get you engaged in the college. Although many of these things, of course, will be virtual because we want to make sure that everybody continues to stay safe until we all get vaccinated and the pandemic lessens. But our goal, again, Hannah, is to provide you with the opportunities that you would really want to have, just like any other student would have had coming in August. Great question. Thank you. We have time for about one more question. So I was wondering who has the last student question before we wrap up this orientation session.
I actually have one more question.
Okay, Rivka gets the best questions of the day award. So if I had one, here it is.
Thank you. I just like have a question regarding like research and study abroad. Do they coincide? Are you able to do a research with a professor and do study abroad, or you have to do it like in like one during sophomore year, one during junior year?
Another great question, Rivka. So many students really do sometimes separate all of those experiences so that they would do research potentially with our faculty here because it's a lot easier to make those connections because you may have some of them in your class. But through the GE Cubed program, sometimes research can be built into that international experience. So it really depends upon which program you're working with. And that's where you're going to be having conversations with myself and my colleagues over in the study abroad office on campus. As you go through that process, when you start looking at schools and institutions, some of them will just say classes only. Some of them will say there might be an opportunity for research to do that. The other thing that I want to make sure that I know that I didn't say, so that let's say if any of you, for instance, are from China, if you're going to be doing a study abroad experience, you will not be doing that in China. We really want you to have that global experience outside of your home country and your home communities. So although you may be coming from China and coming to Miami, when you do your study abroad experience, you'll be going to another place. So it's yet another international experience. But again, I can't say enough to everyone who asked questions. We appreciate it. Again, I want to point out to you, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to email us at coe@miami.edu or to give us a call. As I said, this presentation will be edited a little bit, and we're going to put some more links on it to make sure that you have all that information. Know that the website is a great resource in terms of programming. Remember to check your emails and make sure that you have it forwarded to the University of Miami email addresses. And last but not least, Canes Care for Canes. So we are a mask campus. So make sure that you're wearing your mask. Make sure you're keeping 6 feet of social distancing from everybody. Make sure that you are washing your hands or using your Purell. And if you have any questions along the way, we know that you're here. We thank you so much for joining us. We again welcome all of you, and we look forward to seeing you all in person. We hope sooner than later. And again, thanks very much. Welcome again. And make sure that if you have any questions to reach out to us, we're here to serve you. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a great semester. And last but not least, I don't want anybody to forget, classes begin this Monday, January 25th, 2021. Thank you again, everybody. We'll see you soon. Have a great day. Bye now.